stronger in mid lane. I think he has very good pressure there. It lets him roam. He can farm a bit easier. He has the good sustain to keep himself in lane, and I feel like his clear in the jungle is kind of slow, at least like compared to other ones in the meta right now. So I'd imagine he goes there. Barnacle's grabbing their support for themselves. Nautilus buffs have not gone through yet, so it's not a Nautilus jungle. As much as we can all dream of the beautiful CC chain, but that might be a Rumble jungle.
Could be a Rumble jungle. Could be Rumble jungle. I mean, is a high priority pick along with the Morgana. Those AP junglers really just making their names well known throughout the server on this patch. Have seen it. I've seen 2 Rumbles on the side on both games today so far. It looks like the Rumble is going to be hovered from Tub and is going to be locked in.
Yeah, and that's massively fast, rapidly fast picks from SGR. They know exactly what they want. They feel like they're getting the comp that they want to. Tub taking a little bit more time here. If they lock in this Jinx, I think that'll be interesting. They're definitely going for some late scaling. We've seen a lot of teams going for those late scaling AD carries. The meta shifts in that direction. It is going to actually be the Malzahar coming through. Spoke too soon. That's a fun one. That's something we like to see. Definitely holds the lane, especially against Street Smurf. And that's like a really, I think, a key to beating SGR is to hold him in check.
Definitely is. Street Smurf is one of our better mid laners in the league, along the sides of Gunsy. Has seen to somewhat evenly matched, even get the better of him at some points. Of course, has a little bit of a swimmer champion pool from my own experience as I played in the league up until last year. But I mean, looks like a very good draft coming out from both squads at the moment. A little bit different than what we've been seeing in the last couple of weeks, but I mean, overall, seems to be good standard picks.
Yeah, and they're shifted slightly, assuming that is Viego mid. That means that jungle bans are going to probably be on the cards for Tub. Outside of that, really obviously for SGR, I'm going to try to get some AD carry bans in there to stop pollution from that early pressure. I would imagine the next one through, I would think it's going to be Kog'Maw. I know Kog'Maw is one of the stronger AD carries right now, though it is a Nautilus, so it's not like a defensive comp. But it could be a crazy flex to Nautilus top, and then you just take a Lulu or take Lulu top. We've seen it. We saw a team do that in the Heroic League. It could be something you do there. Crumpy, though, he is a very strong player for the Ugly Barnacles. He's been he's been very good for this team and been a very strong factor in their wins. So keeping him in check is probably the name of the game here for SGR.
Yeah, probably the name of the game for SGR. But I mean, these bans are still coming out from both sides. 3 seconds left. Looks like a Victor ban going to be from the side of Tub. A little bit annoying to deal with. We know Street Smurf does play a very mean Victor. Interesting to say the least where that ban is going to come out, though. I mean, we've seen a lot of top lane, mid lane focus on the side of Tub with their bans panning out. One of Street Smurf's two of them, his most signature champions, the Cassiopeia and the Victor. I probably expect him to go something like the Syndra, something he's more comfortable on. And yeah. It is a tough lane into the Malzahar, of course, due to the lockdown and the ultimate and then just the amount of poke you can get, especially with the spell shield, is really annoying for Syndra to deal with. But I mean, I expect Street Smurf to be able to pilot it well enough.
Yeah, and the Xayah coming out from the Ugly Barnacles, a little bit surprised on that. I feel like Xayah isn't the strongest AD carry right now. She's very safe, but I feel like every time I've seen her get played in a competitive match, it feels like she just kind of falls a little flat. Her damage, she doesn't really get time to get the damage out. She doesn't really get the chance to shred through this front line very easily. They just kind of jump on her and take her out even once she lands with the ultimate. So, I mean, it's better. It's better than the Varus. Like Varus is the most vanilla of AD carries. So I like seeing this. At least seeing a little strawberry in there. Maybe a little Superman ice cream for anyone that knows what Superman ice cream is. I like a little bit of mix-up right there. And speaking of mix-up, SGR grabs the Nico and a Rengar coming out for the Barnacles to round out this draft.
SGR has picked up the Nico. If I believe that's a Renekton coming out from the side of SGR, unless that's a visual bug.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure that's a Renekton. So it is going to be Viego jungle then. So it's going to do that. It's going to be Nico top. I'm guessing this is Rumble top then and Rengar jungle. And I think Rengar actually, he does pretty well into short range melee champions, especially one like the Viego. He can just jump on him and burst him real quick. And when Viego drops the E, it takes a little bit more to cast his abilities. He just runs away. He can even use the Bolas to stop if Viego tries to root onto him. So I think that's good. Rengar also, I think it's very, very aggressive in the early game, which is what the Barnacles, I think, are going to want. I don't know about you. What do you think, Torres?
I mean, I see some aggression going both ways. I mean, this game could get flipped on its head either which way. You can see from the side from SGR, they're looking for some sort of. They have a good mix of with the team fights and also just small skirmishes, small battles. Of course, they have their early game pressure, the weak side on the Renekton. They have some good roaming potential with the Nico. The Viego does tons of damage. The Kai'Sa has dive with the Leona. And then on the other side, you have Tub, who just has this kind of straightforward comp where they just get you in these choke points and they get you locked down and you just get CC'd and just killed with all their damage. Of course, the outlier in that being the Rengar, if it gets ahead, will be able to eviscerate one of their carries. But I mean, looking at both these comps, I think I'd much rather play it from the side of SGR rather than Tub. But I mean, that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I think I agree. I think SGR's comp is a little bit easier to pull off. Rengar also is something that kind of falls off a little bit in the late game if he doesn't snowball. So we'll have to see what happens as we get ready to get onto the Rift here. And it's our last game of the day, and that's it's exciting to see something crazy coming out. It's been kind of very safe for the most part today. So getting a Viego, getting a Nico, getting a Xayah, Malzahar, Rengar. It's a lot of interesting picks that we haven't seen a lot of today or even this week. So fun. It's fun, and fun is always how I like to end the day.
Of course.
Also, apparently, this could be a play. They could be expecting an invade here. They've got the 5 down here. Apparently, they thought that was going to happen. I don't think you really try that hard to invade. Yeah, you have the Nautilus, but like you don't really have a lot of the champions to kind of follow up on that. I feel Rengar and Xayah, not the greatest early game. Well, Rengar a bit better, but Xayah not really the best level 1.
Not having the best level 1, but it's a good. I think the bot lane from Tub almost said UB there due to the graphic. That fixed a little later. Of course, that is not UB, that is Tub, as we all know. But I mean, I think the Tub has picked up a good matchup with the Xayah and the Nautilus. The Nautilus being a soft counter to the Leona, and just having a little bit of an escape and a route with the Xayah to kind of escape that the Kai'Sa going in, dashing in the early game. Being able to fire back a little bit, trade out very well efficiently is going to be the real answer and the key for Tub surviving this lane early on.
Yeah, and they're gonna need to survive if they want to be able to hold like a good position in this game. If Kai'Sa gets ahead, it can be a little bit hard to deal with. She can snowball pretty well too. A lot of snowball champions, I'd say. Most champions can snowball pretty well. Some though a little bit harder than others. I think Xayah is going to have a harder time this game snowballing. She's going to need like a lot of help, or at least just to keep it even with Kai'Sa to be effective later on in the game. But trading not going. It's kind of just even right now between them. It's kind of just even across the map right now. Now, I want to talk about this Nico versus Malzahar matchup. I don't actually know this matchup that well. Do you, by chance? And how do you see that going between these two?
I'm not well versed in mid lane matchups, especially one such as Nico and Malzahar, but I expect Malzahar to get a just to poke out the Nico. I mean, they're just going to trade aggressively. Whoever gets the upper hand will, or these health bars. We see these health bars going down pretty low in the early. It looks like Ostrich is getting the better of Street Smurf.
Yeah, Street Smurf had that early on until level 2, and then once they are both level 2 and hitting level 3, then Malzahar can finally start getting all of his abilities out. You can start dropping the Space Aids, and everyone knows the Space Aids are a little bit too powerful, a little bit too much for the Gecko to deal with. Can't save you all that money on car insurance if you're just getting burned. But it's still again just pretty standard right now. You can see Viego passing towards the top side, Rengar towards the bottom, and actually the Lamar getting engaged on right there. Hooks back onto Frozen, but the feathers do not rip through him. He gets a little bit of damage onto Warplaque. Lamar a little bit low right now, but a good trade on the side of SGR as it's looking like Rengar might just do a full clear. He may come down afterwards. Again, getting this kill onto Kai'Sa early on would be good, even if he can't get it onto the Xayah. He can use it for himself pretty well too. And like you said, this battle in the mid lane is a very just back and forth, both getting very low right now. But I think Street Smurf has the advantage based on mana.
Yeah, Street Smurf does have the advantage on mana, but I mean, toward the later stages of the game, I do expect Lazy Ostrich, if he's even in gold, even in CS, even in experience, I do expect him to overtake this matchup against Street Smurf. Of course, that's only in a 1v1 isolated situation, but I mean, it's how the matchup, we'll see how the matchup plays out from here.
Yeah, and Malzahar is going to be great. There's a lot of good targets to just single lock down. You can lock down Viego, you can lock down Nico. They're going to kind of be stuck there. They're going to be pretty quick to take down. They are very squishy champions, so this could be good. Also, if Kaisa dashes, just happens to dash forward, just ult immediately. She can't get any of that damage out. So I think the Malzahar pick is very solid. Wutan getting good damage on Hipate on the top side. And Dragon up in 30 seconds. It's going to be Ocean. I don't think anybody's going to test it right off the bat, but they can start seeing some kills being looked for here. Now there's an objective up on the field. And, ooh, I just realized, is that Rumble in the jungle? Is that indeed the Rumble in the jungle that we see? Oh, sorry, he's not in the jungle, so never mind. Ignore that. It's a pointless point. Ignore that. Uh,
It's all right. We have those days.
we do have those days. It's a Friday, my dudes. It's the best. It is the best day of the week. Get nice, chill, relaxation. In the case of Rumble, you get some pineapples to drink out of. A little bit jealous of him.
A little bit. Looks like everything's going kind of according to plan. I mean, the junglers have gone for more of a full clear kind of style rather than going for any aggressive ganks. Looks like Wutan's kind of just playing this matchup as well as he can right now. I'm not really sure how the Renekton and Rumble matchup goes. In the early stages of the game, I expect later for Rumble to just run over this. I mean, for the Renekton to run over this Rumble, but I mean, it looks like on the bot side of SGR, they have gotten a lot of push in onto the side of Tub and are starting to take that first dragon.
Yeah, they're going to go for this Ocean Drake to start this out. Good early dragon, keep them healthy and topped off, especially from all the poke from Rutan and Lazy Ostrich, so that's going to be good for them. To grab it, it's going to be Infernal after that. It's going to be Cloud or Mountain this game. I don't know if either team really wants Mountain. Not a lot of tanks. I mean, Shield's always good to stop Burst, but I feel like Cloud... Actually, no, I don't even know. Actually, I think Cloud would be better. Yeah, both mid laners really can't take advantage of it, but it's going to be really good for something like Ryer. Just getting that nice trade on Pier, Wutan versus Hipate. But yeah, Rengar ulting and getting that massive speed boost, I think that could be really big for this team as Ryer comes down. They're doing under Crumpy, the teleport coming through. Crumpy getting really low. He's going to have to flash out of there. Street Smurf is here. Ryer is too, but Lamar is going to go down. First blood going over the Nico as Wutan shows up. The ult dropping. Frozen getting low. He's going to go down. Ryer grabs him, but Rengar comes in too, grabs another kill. Another one also onto the Rumble. 2 more down. 3 for 1 right now. Make that 4 for 1 in favor of SGR. They clean up on this map, and Tub a little bit late to that fight.
Yeah, they show up a little bit late to that fight. We can see it all go down right here. It looks like Ryer finishes off the Gromp, makes his way towards that boss at the map, kind of just waits in this tri-bush. Waiting around. Everybody just pacing back and forth. It looks like Crumpy gets a little aggressive. And Lamar sees the window to go in. Warplack in that bush. The TP comes down immediately from the side of SGR. Crumpy puts himself a little bit too forward, takes a lot of damage. And when Street Smurf comes in, roots up Lamar, who had already burned his Aftershock passive, and it just goes down. Excuse me, he already had the Guardian passive. And I mean, you can see what happens here. It's just the meat grinder of all these members from the side of SGR, and they just take the win on that fight.
Yeah, and we saw Ryer also stop to hit that ward there, so that kind of delayed the fight for the side of Tub. I think they could have maybe done a little bit more there if he did, maybe had an extra second to get in the bush, maybe grab some early damage, maybe able to jump on the Kaisa. I mean, it's only a second, but second, and it's a battle of inches in the game of League of Legends, so you gotta be a little bit quicker on the draw, but still good play from SGR, dragging everyone down to make sure they get some picks here. 2 kills onto the Nico, 1 onto the Kaisa, 1 onto the Rek'Sai, so good split onto the people you kind of wanted on. I mean, you also wanted on Viego, but I think he'll live with 2 assists.
Of course, living with 2 assists, getting that gold in his pocket. It looks like Street Smurf has actually picked up a bounty from that roam down to the bot side of the map. We'll see what they do with it. They've already picked up the first dragon, the next one spawning the next 3 minutes. And we'll see how Tub comes back into this game and how SGR pushes their lead.
Yeah, and it's onus on SGR right now to get that pushing. They are doing pretty good right now, getting the waves under control. The Nico now should be able to handle this Malzahar a bit better. Wutan and Hipate dueling, but here comes Ryer. Don't know if he got spotted. He does indeed. Hipate getting low. He's going to go down. Wutan picks up the kill. I don't even think he needed the ult. He didn't really jump on him, but still a good kill for Tub, getting something a little bit back for the team as Frozen goes forward onto Crumpy. Crumpy gets stunned, but his teammate isn't really there to help him. He takes a big trade, but the minions drawing the aggro. Frozen getting super low. Demon Lord is here. Lamar, too, to try to help him out. Gonna run away. The root does miss, and Lamar's running the ult coming through from the Viego. Gonna slow him down. Lamar gonna try to get away, but it's not gonna be enough. Gonna get taken down. The Demon Lord getting his kill right there, getting himself on the board with his team, and SGR going to look to try to put pressure on this turret. Street Smurf looking for Crumpy, though. Crumpy trying to get something right there. Gets the Q out, but Ryer is here. He is spotted by a ward, though. He's going to have to be careful. They could turn on him. This is going to back out. More pressure on this turret. Only one minion, though, so SGR got to be a little bit cautious. They have the other minions now to back them up, but you don't want to stay around too long. You never know. Rumble is down here. He could show up, and Lamar is here, too. They're on the hunt. Rengar looking for something right here, but it's not going to be enough. They're just going to back out.
Yeah, I mean, SGR is not letting their foot off the gas, letting their presence be known all around the map, just forcing Tub to, like, stay underneath their tower. You saw Street Smurf make the roam down and force it between those two towers from the side of Tub, and I mean, you totally see the commanding presence that they're playing with right now, and they're playing with confidence.
Yeah, and Demon Lord staying, Street Smurf staying around. Got a little bit baited by the Nico right there. But Demon Lord also actually staying around too. Getting a little bit of trade right there and gets spotted out. Those have to back out. They know they're both here on the bot side. That's the call from Malzahar. Gonna put this pressure forward, try to get a couple of these turret plates, try to get himself claw back a little bit of that lead. He's been just kind of patiently farming so far as mid lane while Nico's been down there. Street Smurf really not getting too much out of that roam. Ostrich does manage to get a plate for himself, so that's going to be good for him. Can probably go back a little bit extra in pocket, and now they're getting prepared. It looks like it's going to be the call for Herald here from Tub.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be the Herald play for them. I mean, Speedmurph kind of just farming it up in the mid lane, doesn't want to kind of throw his advantage where he doesn't have the members on the side. Not knowing, I mean, it looks like SGR does know that both members of Tub, their bot lane, Crumpy and Lamar, are on the bot side of the map, but still don't go for it. I mean, it looks like it was more of a bait play. It looks like Tub isn't even going to take it in the end. So I mean, smart play for their laners, just stay in the lanes, get experience and gold.
Yeah, you don't want to risk it. Try going for a Herald, give it up, and then lose 3 people. It's better to play safe. You don't know where anyone's at. As Wutan takes a big trade up there on the top side. Now, Tub, they are down, but they're still only down 1,000 gold despite being down 3 kills and a dragon. So they're still in a good position. They could still take control of this game given the time. And I want to know, if you're on the side of Tub and you're Ryer, where are you looking to make a play? Who are you trying to look to get a lead with to try to snowball this game?
I don't know if it's so much as trying to get a lead with anybody, but where I'm looking at right now is I'm going to hold that thought as something might break out around here.
Yeah, Dragon is getting pressured. Gonna go down. Now it's up to Tub to try to get out. Ryer does get caught. Ooh, the ult coming in from the Malzahar, though. It's gonna take one jungle for jungle trade right there, but the ult from the Nico comes through. Crumpy goes in the ult, tries to get out, trying to run away, trying to get time to pull his feathers back. The flash from both of them. Oh, and Kaisa on the side manages to pick up a kill. Frozen manages to just barely live. Warplaque with a beautiful W gets the double kill. And let's watch how this fight broke out.
Yeah, I mean, we can see the dragon getting started up by the side of Tub. I mean, it's pretty pure. The dragon is already burned. You can see the SGR doesn't know the HP. It ends up going in a little bit too late, not knowing. I mean, the Zenith Blade lands, the Malzahar ult comes down, but during that whole fight, Street Smurf found himself in the backline, lands his ultimate onto 3 members of Tub, and I mean, that damage is just too significant for Team Tub to do anything about it.
Yeah, and if Crumpy had been able to dodge that W and pulled his feathers, he probably would have killed Frozen. Honestly, might have even ripped most of Warplaque to pieces. But Warplaque, again, beautiful W, manages to finish him off there while he's straggling. And SGR, they're pushing this goal lead. Snack set it to 3,000 gold. Give up the dragon. 3 kills, though, really good. It's getting on the people they need it to. And now this Nico and this Kaisa are getting very big as Hippote jumps onto Wutan. Wutan drops the ult to try to get something there. It doesn't matter. He flashes. Hippote flashes too. And they both go down. We got some roast Yordle and roast Crocodile.
Yeah, I mean, very just unfortunate events going down right here. We see the replay come out, Hippote going down. I mean, both of them just a good trade. I mean, you can really see how even that lane was going on the top side of the map without any interference. I mean, it was pretty even for most of the stages of the game whenever we got the Observer hovering over. And I mean, a fitting end for both of them with that double kill. Kind of them trying to assert dominance and both of them ending up, oh, we're at the same level.
Yeah, and it's there is an item advantage though on the side of Hepate. He didn't grab boots yet, as opposed to Rumble's Sork shoes, so he'll have a little bit of a lead on that side. But still, Rumble getting a nice lead up here. He's got 200. He's got 220 CS up on the Renekton. Excuse me there, and it's still even, pretty even, like you said. They're still able to duel real well. Renekton has a really great early game, but at least trying to find something there. Tub trying to fight back, trying to look for somewhere they can make a play or turn something around despite the situation that they're in. And Frozen, I want to give credit to this man too. He's been playing very aggressive this game, and it's paying great dividends for the side of SGR.
Definitely playing great dividends for SGR. PR Frozen making the plays, setting up his team. I mean, we saw in that last Dragon fight, it was him going in with Demon Ward to be able to get that Street Smurf ult off, hitting 3 members, and really turning the tides of that fight. I mean, we're gonna see if he's gonna be able to keep on doing that in these next future fights. But I mean, from the looks of it right now, he is being up to MVP of this game.
Yeah, and SGR is starting to rotate up towards the Herald. They call the bot lane up just to kind of rotate in case something happens. Warplack, though, dueling Ostrich. Herald is going to go down pretty safely. The ult coming through onto Ostrich. Frozen tries to get the E, but it doesn't work. Stopping there. Ostrich trying to maybe finish off this Kaisa. Doesn't work, though. Goes down. Renekton finishes him off there on the side. And now Ryer is going to probably fall, too. Actually, he's going to live. My goodness. Frozen trying to grab something there, too. He's going to grab a kill for himself. Manages to take out Ryer in a messy fight. 2 for 3 goes in favor of Tub, actually, with a great roam from the rest of their squad as Zapata tries to put pressure on the top turret.
Yeah, I mean, that fight started off pretty... It was okay, but I mean, it looks like a little bit of a misplace from both sides. PR Frozen throwing out that Zenith Blade, trying to connect onto Ostrich. Ostrich barely outside of the range, but a little bit of a misplay from him is he started his channeling his ultimate after the Zenith Blade misses, putting him in range just to stay still long enough for Street Smurf and everybody to land their CC and eventually kill him. But a good collapse from his teammates are able to pick up 3 kills from that mistake.
Yeah, Wutan's ult was beautiful in that choke point, and that little funnel, and to catch everyone is now he's getting engaged on by Hepate. He doesn't have ult to duel this one. He's got to run. He is going to get out. Hepate's not going to keep that chase up. It's just going to force him out of the lane. And Ryer's up here. He could try to turn this around if he gets dove, but Wutan's just going to back up probably. He doesn't actually have teleports. He's not going to be able to get back to lane that quickly. So Hepate probably just going to shove this in as the rest of SGR looking for some pressure on the bot lane. The dragon is up in 55 seconds. It is going to be Cloud Soul this game. Also a really good one to have for the Rengar. It's also going to be really, I think, good in terms of the Kaisa. And another thing about Nico's, takes a moment to charge, but it activates when she casts, so she can get that speed boost to get onto people quicker with the Cloud Drake, so that could be really useful for her. And Hapate too, also with that ult. There's some teams, these are some players that could, some champions that can really utilize that ultimate really effectively. I think the only one that really can't use it at all is the Malzahar, because he's Malzahar's going to lock himself in place.
Yeah, I mean, some ultimates that are really good and effective from this side, from this Quadric, will be on both of these teams. I mean, you see all these key ultimates coming out. They are going to be playing big parts in these fights. We have Street Smurf's ult, obviously. We have Warplack being able to move around, more mobility. PR Frozen being able to pick more fights. Bhutan already has a ridiculously low cooldown on his Equalizer. And then there's just Crumpy, Lamar the Wizard. Everything else is just self-explanatory. More ultimates, more fighting, and I mean, just more pick potential.
Yeah, and the gold lead, it has shrunk a little bit, but it's probably going to bust right open there as the Herald gets dropped. Bot side, Dragon is going to get started up by SGR. No one here on top really contest it. They're just going to let this first cloud go over, let them get that cooldown. Gonna look to maybe drop a collapse here onto Hepate. Hepate goes over the wall. The ult coming in from the Rumble and the Rengar, jumping back over the wall, getting another jump into him, and Ryer's going to take out Hepate there. Beautiful use of their ultimates by both these guys, and it's going to take control of this top lane. Probably going to shove it in, maybe try to counter that push from the bottom side, but Crumpy kind of on his own right here. Frozen goes in, he gets the E, but here comes the ultimate from him. An ult coming in from the Leona, ult coming in from Street Smurf, and it's going to be a kill. Street Smurf picks it up. Crumpy, a little bit out of position trying to get a ward there. It costs him his life, and Zaya having a pretty rough game.
Yeah, I mean, Zenith Blade connects that time around onto Crumpy, and then doesn't want to use his flash, holds it a little too long, and ends up costing his life.
Yeah, the ultimate was good, but once you got Zenith Blade, when you're hit by the ult, you're kind of locked in place. You cannot move, so I wasn't able to really do much more than buy him a little extra time. So good play by SGR there. Took two ults, but a kill's a kill, and those ults are very low cooldown. Like you can already see, they're already almost back up, so no big deal for these guys. And this Nico's getting a little out of hand. Nico can be pretty scary when she's got a lead like this.
Yeah, really scary. Has already finished her mythic item. Both mid laners have finished their mythic item, but in these fights, I assume Street Smurf is up in gold at this point in the game. We'll be nearing his second item. Looks like he's gone back, picked up a Fiendish Codex along with a Seeker's Arm Guard, getting closer to that Zanya's power spike, and will be a major threat in these fights.
And Ryer doing a little jig right there, knocking Hippote over the wall, calling the man of the bounce as he gets that red buff for himself. Bottom lane of SGR is roaming up. Wutan has to back out. He does spot them, doesn't want to give up his life here. Kind of just farm it safely. Trying to look for a turret. It's really hard to find, I think, a turret for this team on the side of Tub because while they do have some good wave clear for the most part, like their opponents have it too, and it's kind of difficult to keep it pushed in. It's hard to get a push going when it just gets counter pushed against you. Wutan and Hippote duking it out. Hippote going forward, getting an even trade right there. Actually, it goes a little bit in favor of Wutan. And they're just going to relax it as a fight looks like it's about to break out in mid, possibly, but the ward spots him out. They're just going to back off, and everyone just taking a real chill pill right now.
I mean, two absolute legends duking it out in the top lane. We've seen it time and time again. Just kind of slapping each other up, but I mean, always a handshake almost in the end.
Yeah, and now Wutan getting stunned up by Hippote, getting low. He is overheated, so he's not going to be able to get much out of there. He is very low, but here on the side comes Demon. We're looking for something right there. Going in, manages to get the kill. Going to use it to pick up Ryer's soul. And Wutan's soul, and Ryer gets away, but now Lamar goes in, gets engaged on Crumpy, trying to get away, gets stunned up, gonna go down. Street Smurf picks up the kill, and Tub is getting pressured really hard this game. Gets picked off on the top side, and unfortunately stumbles a little bit forward into their own deaths.
Yeah, I mean, a series of unfortunate events on the top side of the map. Prior to this, we saw Wutan and Hippote kind of just testing their wits against each other, testing their mettle. But I mean, what he doesn't know is that most of the squad is coming up from the mid and bottom side of that map. Ryer sitting up in the bush. Demon Ward has made his way around. Looks like a dive. Warplaque, PR frozen. Demon Ward coming out, not knowing Ryer's in this bush, and ends up getting engaged on by Ryer. Enters the bolo. Wutan goes down immediately. Ryer trying to trade him out. Gets caught out by Warplaque. Demon Ward misses the ultimate. Unfortunately, Lamar kind of gets caught in the middle of that too. Street Smurf. I mean, Crumpy's just way out of position, kind of thinking his team's over there, walks through an unfortunate choke point. Again, not forcing his flash, and I mean, just two kills.
He's got to save flash for the red buff. Crumpy's channeling his inner double lift this game. Saving the ult, too. He could have ult flashed to get out of that position, but I guess he felt that it's better just to let himself go down than try to waste those nice summoner spells. As SGR grabs the top outer turret, they're going to back off right here. It is going to be Baron up in just now, actually. Sorry, coming up right now. They're going to back, maybe try to get ready to contest this. Dragon isn't going to be up for another minute and a half, and SGR has put themselves in quite the driver's seat. 4K up right now, 20 minutes in.
Has put themselves in quite the driver's seat. A minute and 15 seconds until the next Drake. Probably something that SGR is looking for. Also looking for on the side of Tub, probably looking for that key fight that they want. Crumpy has been dying quite a bit, so he is behind almost about a whole item down from Warplaque, so it's going to be difficult to navigate these fights. But I mean, a good ultimate from Wutan could turn the tide of these fights.
Yeah, if Wutan manages to get a a nice ult in a choke point, like they are ahead, but SGR is still a squishy team. There is no tank on this squad. The tankiest person is Renekton. He's just got Merc Treads, so you can drop a nice ult and burn through most of the team, allow the rest of your squad just to pick off any stragglers. But they've got to pick fights. They gotta be more proactive instead of reactive. They're just reacting to SGR's plays. They've got to try to dictate the pace. Even if they're behind, you can still dictate the pace as Ostrich gets engaged and gets stunned up by Frozen. The ult comes in too, gets him down. The ult comes in from Wutan, just going to buy some space, and he's looking for a kill right there. He's going to take out Warplaque possibly. Goes Golden, hasn't grabbed him yet. Frozen getting low. He's going to go down. Ryer looking for something here too. Street Smurf on the side. Demon Lord coming in looking for something. Lamar goes. He grabs onto Demon Lord with a blind hit, and now Crumpy's going forward. You got to be careful, Crumpy. Don't go too far forward. Hippote looking for that, goes forward. Stuns up Crumpy, but he's going to get low. He's going to go down. Ryer picks up the kill. Fake Street Smurf baits everyone out. They back off. Demon Lord looking for something. So is Street Smurf. They just keep stunning up poor Crumpy. He's not going to get to walk anywhere. He just wants to play some League of Legends, guys, as the dragon is started up. Got to be careful, SGR. There's only 3 of you. The teleport coming in from the Rumble, and they're force them out. This dragon's gut should be pretty free to go over to the side of Tub, and Tub manages to finally win a fight for themselves.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about how proactive versus reactive, and this both from the side of Tub, and I mean, you know, they kind of walk into that fight. We see the equalizer come down and burn down the health bars from a couple of SGR members going down pretty low. Lamar did keep him down with that Judge 1 before going down. Of course, the damage does come down. The equalizer cooks him a little bit too much for SGR's liking, and I mean, we did see what could have happened if they're in a better position or picking these fights at in a better scenario.
Yeah, it's showing the situation. Like it's just showing that Tub can indeed, if they get the right positioning, take a fight. Wutan here on the side trying to stop this Baron. Hippote going forward. Warplaque gets the ult going forward. Goes over the wall with Demon Lord too. Everyone's just going onto this poor Rumble, and he's gonna go down. That's 4 ults. Burn. Actually, make that 3 ults. Sorry, Burn to try to get this guy, and now Demon Lord's got to back up. Hippote burns his ult too. I think they're just going to have to back up. Tub really can't contest this very well without the Rumble, but Ryer here trying to go onto Hippote. Hippote getting low, oh not low, but getting a little low on his rage. Goes back over the wall, and now Ryer maybe might try to go over for this. Doesn't have flash, but he could try to use the bush to get over. Is he going to mana the bounce this? He's going to try. It's not going to go down. It's going to go right over. A little bit slow right there. Ryer stuck in the pit now. Team's going to have to try to fight to save him, but SGR just going to back out. They're just going to let Frozen die, and now Lamar looking for a hook, but it's going to go wide. I think SGR could have turned that fight, but they'll take the Baron and get out fine.
Yeah, I mean, we saw that SGR had lost the previous fight in that choke we were talking about in the inside of Tub's jungle, but I mean, immediately upon their backs, they start going towards the Baron. They kind of bait this fight where Tub isn't ready, and after dropping one down, they start up the Baron and pick it up for themselves. It's good presence of mind to know that even though they lost that fight, they can still work the map in ways that they're favored in and still get ahead.
Indeed. And that's, you know, they've got the Baron now on 4 people, so it's going to be trying to pressure somewhere. No outer turrets left to take, so they're probably going to push towards the inners, but, you know, Tub still putting up a fight, still trying to claw their way back into this game. They're only down 5,000 gold. They still have a chance. Again, we're seeing them find these fights, be able to kite back and forth, be able to kind of separate members of SGR, get them low, and kind of, you know, SGR has been kind of juggling their front line in these fights, and it's not working out very well in that situation. Tub might have their number if they can just hold on, if they can just find the picks. And I think one of those picks is definitely going to have to be on that Nico, because she is a monster.
Definitely a monster indeed. Street Smurf has been putting up quite the performance this game, but alongside him is Warplaque, sitting with the same KDA line. Finishes his 3rd item, and this Kaisa is online.
And something I noticed, looking down through all the items, seeing everyone build, is Viego has built Trinity Force. I'm kind of surprised by that. Like, you know, I don't really know how it does on him. I would always usually build like Shield Bow or Kraken Slayer, something that can allow me to put DPS out. It more as like a melee carry. Maybe he's going a more bruisery build since all they have frontline is Renekton.
I'm not sure. This is some new tech coming out here, found only here in FOF.
Yeah, and speaking of new tech, Viego going forward with a new type of grab, trying to root someone down. Doesn't grab anyone, though. That's going to back off. It is getting low, though, and this mid turret's probably going to go down right here. Demon Lord on the hunt on the side, looking for something. Got to be careful, though. Ostrich can ult whoever he finds, and he's going to grab it right onto Street Smurf. Just as I say that, Street Smurf getting low, has to flash away, going forward, trying to get the ult, and goes golden, goes down, but Crumpy manages to dodge it, pulls him back, roots him in place long enough. Another ult coming in from Wutan grabs the kill, and now SGR's got to back up. We said they had to find this Nico, and they managed to. It took a lot, but she is down, and that is a shutdown going the way of Tub.
Yeah, I mean, Street Smurf caught in that choke against 4 members of Team Tub, almost gets away, but ends up getting chased down. And I mean, they're just prolonging this. I mean, not a good shutdown from the goal, but I mean, in the end, say all be all, it's not that effective. I mean, there's still 40 seconds to the streak. All 5 members will be there.
Yeah, and that's going to be, I think, the point where this game breaks wide open. Is it going to just be SGR just extending the lead to an unmanageable point, or is it Tub pulling themselves back in? This dragon could be the determiner. It will put whoever takes it on soul point. So this is the fight they both want to take. As Lamar is here by himself. Hippote goes over the wall there to grab him. Gets stunned up. Has to flash away. The teleport coming in from Street Smurf. And now they might start up, though. Ryer is on the side. He did burn his ult. He's on the hunt. Looking for a nice, juicy Kaisa steak, but he's going to use it on a ward instead. I guess wards are delicious, too. As Ryer grabs one ward, goes right forward onto Street Smurf. Going to get stunned in place, though. Going to go down immediately. Wutan drops the ult, and the fight's broken out. Trying to kite back. Lamar getting low. Ooh, Demon Lord getting low, too. Has to ult to get away from there. Hippote on the side, though. He's looking for the hunt. Tub goes forward. They don't see him there on the flank. Warplack getting burned down pretty easily by Wutan. Hippote there. He's going over the wall, goes straight forward, going for the lazy ostrich, but he gets ulted back. Wutan looking for something right there. Warplack getting burned down, has to go golden. Ostrich is going to fall, and now so is Crumpy. Lamar ulting, queuing forward. Don't know what he's looking for there. Maybe trying to make a goal line for Warplack to cross as he goes down, and 4 kills for 1 in favor of, actually, I don't even think 1. They didn't get a single kill in that fight. So good on for SGR, as I think they're getting ready to try to close this game out, or at least take this inhibitor. Now Wutan's up, so they can't end it right here, but they'll take the inhibitor turret.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Warplack go down to about 1 HP, ended up getting that ultimate out, escaping with his life, and I mean, it's a really unfortunate fight from the side of Tub. I mean, it looked like they were clawing their way back into the game. The gold lead was only looking about 3K prior to that fight, but it's now widened itself to about a 7K gold lead in favor of SGR.
Yeah, and it looked like Ryer, he cleared the first ward and accidentally clicked forward onto Street Smurf, not meaning to, and just ends up completely separated from his team. You see him roaring in frustration as he just goes down. And Wutan drop that it panics the rest of the team. Wutan drops his ult in a bad position. It doesn't hit that many people, even in the choke point, so they don't get much damage out of it. And from there, SGR just kind of slowly cleans up the fight. Hippote on the flank, though. It looked a little bit closer until that point. Once Hippote came over, went right for Ostrich, it was basically a done deal. Managed to separate, scatter the line, and they pick them off one by one. And it's, SGR, they're going to try to close out this game. Baron is going to be up in 20 seconds. They're going to hide in the bush, maybe try to catch someone coming out for vision. But Warplack going forward. The Knight's Vow is out, so they're trying to keep that 80 carry alive. Crumpy, got to be careful there. He's not that big of a Zaya yet. He's down almost an item and a half at this point, and he's going to have to play a little bit safe here. But Ostrich looking for something. They don't know where anyone's at. They're just going to kind of wait in the bush. Demon Lord going forward. The Q coming out. Ooh, Street Smurf taking quite a bit of damage right there. Going to have to back out. Wutan is still a massive threat for this team. He's got his 3 items. He is a Rumble. And they see Lamar go forward. The Q goes in. They do grab onto Warplack, but the rest of the team isn't there. The ult coming in beautiful from Wutan, but Warplack manages to grab the Nautilus, and nothing else comes out of that. Everyone just kind of backs off and disengages. A good attempt. Ryer tried to maybe finish him off. Grabs Street Smurf. Street Smurf goes golden, though. Ryer trying to run away. Gets stunned up with the Leona ult. Misses. Trying to look for something, but Demon Lord is going to slay him on the side right here. The rest of the team cannot get in. Tub going up. Crumpy going ult and trying to grab someone. Tries to get a kill. Grabs Demon Lord. Ostrich tries to save his teammate, but it's not going to matter. He's going to go down. Hippote grabs the kill on 2 Ostrich, and now it's just Wutan trying to hold them off. Hippote trying to buy some space, and SGR grabs themselves another fight, and now the Baron.
Yeah, I mean, you see that started out. Lamar kind of just goes down. Demon Lord barely escaping with the skin of his teeth again. But I mean, Ryer wanting to make up for that fact, knowing that Demon Lord's low, 2 members were low, he jumps into the back line, and that kind of instigates Tub to just follow him in, where they eventually just get grinded down by the team of SGR.
Yeah. You've heard of vein spotting. You've heard of Yasuo, quote, the Yasuo mains, but now you've got knife catting. Just charging blindly at the enemy, hoping you can finish the kill, but unfortunately just coming out just a bit short. He almost got Street Smurf there, but that Zanya is just such a good defensive tool against Rengar. His Rengar is basically getting shut out of the game at this point, and that's, Wutan manages to save it a bit there with the help of Crumpy. Crumpy's actually his E did so much work to get them at least one kill for themselves, but SGR is trying to choke this game out, pushing forward. A minute and 25 on this dragon. I think if they get the soul, it's almost all but over. Zapate pushes this turret. The rest of SGR roams up, and Tubbs is going to have to give it up.
Yeah, I mean, in Ryer's defense, it was pretty close. He is doing damage. He is doing work in this game, but I mean, at this point, it might be too far too gone. The Baron has been picked up by SGR. They're starting their march into the base of Tub, and Street Smurf has actually picked up a death cap since that last fight.
Yeah, his ults are going to just nuke Crumpy if he manages to land it, even onto possibly Ryer. Ryer's pretty low health-wise. He does have the Gore Drinker, but that's not going to be very much. He doesn't have any MR. And Demon Lord looking for something right there. Wutan on the side. He does spot out. Warplaque runs into him. Not where he wanted to go. Warplaque gets the ult, and Demon Lord looking to maybe go over the wall. Street Smurf looking for something too. They're just going to miss. Teleport came out from Apate as they're going to shove this wave in too, trying to build some spaces. 30 seconds till this dragon's up. They're going to grab Scuttle, get the vision laid out, and get themselves into a solid position. Ryer, though, goes right onto Warplaque and gets right out. Ult coming out from Frozen is the signal to back out. Not time for the knife catting today. As Tub tries to push in, get priority in mid lane, but it's hard to do against, siege minions. Now, SGR on the side, maybe try to pick up a fight here. Ryer doesn't have his ultimate. He used it in that fight. Pate's going to back. He doesn't have teleport. It means he's going to have to not continue that. The dragon is going to go down soul over to SGR. This could be the moment they decide to go in. If Apate ults, he's going to go flying at them. He does burn the... No, he's not going to burn it yet. He's trying to decide yet. Demon looking for something there. Gets the W forward onto him. Last Ostrich goes in. Ult coming in from Wutan. Misses the ult, though, for Demon Lord onto Lazy Ostrich. Apate, though, going onto the side onto Ryer right there. Wutan goes out on the side to Street Smurf. Apate trying to buy some space. Not going to matter, though. Lazy Ostrich gets picked off on the side, too. Crumpy trying to buy something with his ultimate. Getting out of there. Double kill for Street Smurf onto Ryer, and now it's just the AD carrying the support. Lamar goes down, though. It's just Crumpy. Crumpy, you gotta run, man. But Warplaque's on the hunt, and it's some bird soup. Warplaque picks him up. Ace for SGR, and that's gonna be the game.
Yeah, Warplaque picking out the feathers of his teeth as he picks up the last kill on a Crumpy, and just SGR is just with this win, and in a little bit of a back and forth fashion, but in the end, it was just a slow choke out from SGR, and Tub was just left wriggling in the hands of SGR.
And now that's SGR's second loss of the season. So coming at the hands of SGR, their previous one from OOD. So struggling a bit with these top two teams contending with them in the last few weeks. But, they still are in first place. It's now only a 1-win lead for them for locking in first. But, it's still excellent performance from SGR. You could see Tub what they were trying to do. You could see them looking to make plays, but their early game didn't get going. They couldn't get anything working, and SGR just got a lead and ran away with it.
Yeah, really just ran away with their lead. I mean, you can see glimpses of hope within Tub's comp. And we saw that one fight before that first Baron was taken, where they traded out 3 for 2. I mean, they get this nice fight. The equalizer was in a nice area. But after that smart macro play, I mean, it just fell out of the hands of Tub. They were just forced into unfavorable situations, kind of just caught and out of position, just baited in by their own teammates, honestly. Sometimes it looked like less of a mechanical misplay and more of a miscommunication between the players. And I mean, that's where they're getting stretched thin, and SGR capitalized on that.
Yeah, they capitalized pretty well. And if you look at the damage chart, Wutan doing his best to keep his team in the game. He evened out the Kaisa almost exactly, I think. Let's see those numbers. Yeah, just about slightly less than 100 damage over the Kaisa. So doing as much work as he could, but, just couldn't get anything going. The junglers, Rengar did quite a bit of damage, but it felt more like they were there as assistants as opposed to the main factors. This was a game of carries in terms of bot lane and mid lane for SGR. And I actually think really a tale of Street Smurf because he made some fantastic plays this game.
Yeah, Street Smurf really did carry throughout the mid and late game through these fights. But I mean, the one instigating these fights was Frozen. While Lamar felt a little bit lackluster, where he's playing this Nautilus and you're meant to be catching out people, he didn't feel like he had much presence inside these games in comparison to Frozen.
Yeah, I might need to go back to Hook School, try to get a little bit of aim practice right there. But still, good attempt from Tub, good game from them. And with that, We're going to throw it away for a moment, but don't go anywhere. We've got an interview right after this.
All right, folks, Chris Edgeworth here with the final interview of the day. I'm joined by PR Frozen from the victorious SGR Reborn. How are you feeling after the big win?
Yeah, super excited. Happy to win against the technically the best team in the league.
Yeah, legally the best for now.
For now.
Let's talk about the draft that you guys pulled in for this game. It was the Snap pickup Viego, and also you were on this Leona. It looked like maybe you guys had a bit of a plan coming into this. I'm also a big fan of Nico myself. So what was the draft plan from your end?
First off, Street Murph is trash against Nocturne, so we banned it all. Second, we watched the previous games from Tub when they were on the red side, and they loved Viego, so we just like, hey, we're gonna pick it first. But then if we take Viego, they're gonna pick Kane, so we ban our own Kane, then first pick Viego. But then it's a really classic bot lane, Kesa Leona, that we play in duo queue or just scrims. We're really used to this matchup, so it felt really good. we were supposed to pick a normal control mage mid, but they took Malzahar, and Streetmorph was like, "Yo, they're trolling. I'm just gonna pick Nico and wreck him in lane." So that was the plan.
Nice. Yeah, Nico is incredibly strong against him because he really can't do shit when she just throws her E through the entire minion line, including his own little voidling. So it's pretty fun. Interactive
Completely
gameplay.
useless.
Let's talk a little bit about your own lane. You guys had a lot of early attention down there in the bottom lane. What was it like navigating this in the early game and turning it into a victorious game?
Honestly, it was pretty alright. Because I managed to find a little bit of ward timing. So I just go to the river, put some wards here and there, track Rengar really well. So we always knew where he was in the early game, at least. So whenever he ganked, we're like, okay, he's here. Maybe we can bait him. So we force a fight bot. He comes, then we double TP and win the fight. Like in the first 5 minutes, I think. We're like 5-man bot, and we take advantage of that.
Yeah, I mean, the way that you guys handled you just committed resources to making sure that the Rengar couldn't actually get anything for the attention that he's putting out in the early game, and that champion does pretty much nothing when you put it behind, especially against a Viego. So I think you guys did a really good job of shutting down the presence that he's trying to exert on the map. Let's talk a little bit about just the greater league. You guys do strike a blow against the erstwhile, the legally first place team, as we just said a moment ago. How does it feel to get this win, especially as we're getting close to playoffs?
Yeah, it feels really great. We just want to make sure that they're not too confident in themselves. So we're coming for the first place. Maybe not in the group right now, but we're coming for the finals. And we're gonna win. I'm just telling you that right now.
All right, placing the marker. I like it. The boldness. Now, Frozen. Before we step away to the lounge, do you have any final words for us?
I'm just gonna shout out Street Smurf, Chaos Pentakill last game. So yeah, son of a bitch.
Yep. Never forget, everyone. Make sure to report Street Smurf. I actually think that I still have this. Oh no, I deleted the picture. I'm lucky.
Dude.
But anyway, Frozen, thanks so much for joining us for this interview. Folks, don't go anywhere. We will be right back with FOF Lounge. Awesome. Thanks so much.
Performs on the beat. Hello, folks, and welcome to the Friend or Foe Lounge. My name is Sharogan. I am your friendly neighborhood shoutcaster, and I have joining me today Rap Terror, like usual.
Hello.
As well as BBZ Dax, BBZ's very own jungler, and Team Spears Orphic. How are you guys doing? It's going good, going good. Awesome. Glad to hear it. Well, so let's just go and hop into this. It's like we got a couple of games that were going on. First game, it was a little rough for Ruby's Light Up Sketchers. Poseidon Gaming kind of came out swinging at the fences. It was a little intense. I do believe that there were some comments to be said, though, about that Gangplank pick. So let's just go ahead and jump right in on that.
Yeah, so I think the Gangplank pick specifically was a good idea. I think that RLS was trying to draft a more of like a kite back and have them come into UComp. I just think that obviously the execution of every single lane was kind of poor, but the Gangplank specifically, I just think that he wasn't really playing to his strengths as much as he should have. GP has one of the strongest level 1s in the game right now. There's True Damage passive plus Grasp. And even though like Riven traditionally